Good morning, good afternoon, good evening everyone. My name is Richard, welcome to the channel. Dacia Spring. The rules of the game have now changed. With diesel being at least £1.90 a litre, the journey that I have to do from Stafford to Newquay in Cornwall would have normally been done in the Mercedes diesel because it would have been cheaper rather than charging this car on the journey on the way down to Newquay. Now it's about the same. And this situation where diesel is so expensive and petrol is on the rise as well is not going to change for at least 6 months. At least. Comment below if you disagree with me. I think the prices of fuel, diesel or petrol, are now the new baseline prices. No one's screaming in the UK that it's too expensive. No one's screaming. The government could do something about it, but they're not, because no one is screaming. We'll not get political. We'll not get political. Let's go for a drive in the beautiful countryside of Staffordshire. In the Dacia Spring 65. I know they've brought out the 100. Not sure what the difference is on that. Range would have been great, but I think they've gone for more power than range. And I can't understand that as well, because this is more than powerful enough for an everyday driver. Everyday driver. However, I have to perform a journey to Newquay in Cornwall. Undoubtedly, the diesel Mercedes would have been much cheaper to do that journey in the past when it was £1.30 or £1.32 a litre. But now it's £1.90 and even more expensive on the motorways, a litre. I calculated the costs of getting there. So for the diesel Mercedes, on 45 miles per gallon, I worked it out at £48 of diesel. In the Dacia Spring, at 89 pence a kilowatt hour charge, yes, bearing in mind this has got a 27 kilowatt battery, and that I expect it, because we'll be doing motorway journeys, I'm expecting it to do 4 miles per kilowatt hour rather than its normal 5.6 miles per kilowatt hour. So I'm being cautious. I suspect this, for the recharging, will cost £55. Now previously, the gap was ginormous from a cost perspective, but not so anymore. Not so anymore. Now I also appreciate that there are people out there with electric big cars like 4x4s where it only does 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour. Yes, I appreciate that, but we're talking about the capability of the Dacia Spring. And I know that you don't want to drive the Dacia Spring because it looks crap and cheap. Hang on, what's happening here? That's it, wait there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So, interesting stuff. What do you think? What do you think to those numbers? Tell me if I'm wrong, if I've calculated it incorrectly. You tell me if I've calculated it incorrectly. How can that petrol station be open? Unbelievable. So, with the rising costs of fuel and the fact that they're not going to go down very soon, it's going to be a case where this Dacia Spring will be going to Newquay in a few weeks' time. I will record the journey. Yes, I will record the journey. Look at that. Wow. I will be recording the journey and the fun that we have in Newquay. and we shall take it from there. But the point of this one is, if you're using a car like this, then the impact of fuel, petrol and diesel going up is very minimal. It really is minimal. Tell me if I'm wrong. Oh no, look at this big puddle. Here we go. Of course, the Dacia Spring will have no issues getting it through this big puddle. There we go. If you're new to the channel, I do ask you that you subscribe. That would be much appreciated for those that are subscribed. I really do appreciate it. Over 10,000 subscribers now. If you enjoy this video and it's thought-provoking, then give it a like, share it on to try and convince someone. I've got a fly in here. Try and convince someone that the way forward may be a Dacia Spring. I'm not into, I used to be into expensive cars, used to be, not anymore. Absolute waste of money. Absolute waste of money. And in today's economy, you just can't afford to waste money. But this is about £190 a month in PCP payments, and it's a 4-year contract. I know on previous videos I've stated that I'll be giving it back early. I will be giving it back early if things go right, but we'll suck it and see when it comes closer to the time in March of 2027. But at this moment in time, we really are laughing. And as I've said in a previous video, the Dacia, the Mercedes is redundant, all but redundant. End of this month. Stop the insurance, stop the road tax. Whee! Here we go. Stop the road tax and shove it on the drive. You've got to shove it on the drive. You can't leave it on the road because it's not taxed. It's just a waste of money. I guess it'd be useful to someone, but we'll just have to wait for 6 months. In fact, I'll tell you what I was thinking, and this has got nothing to do with the content of the subject. I was thinking, instead of flying everything over in 2027 to the Philippines, where I'm possibly going to move to, how about taking the Mercedes and driving it all the way? That would be great fun. And then when you get to the Mercedes, strip it down, sell it off, take the engine out, the 2.1 diesel, and stick it in a boat. There we go. That would be funny, as the Philippines is an island nation. Yeah. So that would be funny. 2.1 diesel Mercedes in a boat. So it all is food for thought. It's now, even at 89 pence a kilowatt hour, it's now cheaper to, well, it's not cheaper just yet, but when it's £2 a litre, it is cheaper to go in this electric car at 4 miles per kilowatt hour. Yeah, and on the understanding that it only takes 30 minutes to fully recharge the battery. Say hello to her. To recharge the battery only takes 30 minutes, so it's just stopping off after a 100-mile drive, and then recharge, have a coffee, and then this will be absolutely great for going round the skinny roads just like this of Cornwall, whilst I'm down there for a week. Tell me what your thoughts are. Hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, do remember to subscribe. There's more content like this coming up. I am trying to get in touch with some motor dealers to allow me to take out other electric vehicles, but struggling, really struggling to get traction. They're not bothered about marketing, free marketing, which I find unbelievable. See you soon. Drive safely, ride safely, and I can't wait for the warm weather to come this week. This week is when the warm weather starts for the UK, and it's about time. It's about time. See you soon. Bye-bye.